Today's video is about what to do with extra income.
Hi, I'm Megan with Bethel Budgets. I'm here because it's more than just math. At some point, you might have built a budget, you've laid out your income, you've laid out your expenses, and you thought, it's simple, I'll just stick to what's on the paper. But then life happens and your budget didn't work out. The reason is because it's more than just math. That's where I come in. Let's figure this out together. Don't give up. You've got this.
Today's video is about what to do when you have extra income. Extra income happens in many different situations. Maybe you have a situation where you make a different amount every paycheck. Say you make $1,200 sometimes and $1,600 sometimes and anywhere in between. What do you do in that case? You budget for $1,200 every paycheck. That's your lowest amount that you can count on all the time. You don't want to budget $1,600 and make $1,200 because then you're in trouble. You want to budget $1,200 and then make 16 and have all this extra money to apply to your priorities. So notice I didn't say to play with because we don't play with our money. We tell it where to go. So you're going to budget for your lowest average amount. So you're going to budget for that $1,200. Also, some people who get paid every Friday or every other Friday, we're coming up on March and there are 5 Fridays in March. So it's a bonus paycheck month. I'm a salary person. That doesn't happen for me. Wish it did. It'd be nice. But for those people that it does happen to, they're getting a whole extra paycheck this month. And I don't want them to be like, woohoo, I get all this extra money and then go blow it. No, 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 no. We have a plan for a plan in this group here on our channel. We don't just have extra money and then mess around. We have a plan. So all of my budgeters have a list. It's one of the top things they do when they come to me. We create a list. It's a priorities list for extra income. And we list on there what we're going to do anytime we make extra money. If we get $50, we're going to this list. If we get $200, we're going to this list. If we get a whole extra paycheck, however much that may be, we're going to this list and we're going to apply it to what our plan was. And you're going to talk to your budget team about this. Your budget team are the people you share a budget with. Perhaps it's your husband or your spouse, your fiance, if you're budgeting with your fiance, your adult children, whoever you share a budget with, your accountability partner. Find somebody to talk to and have a regular budget meeting with, and you're going to sit down and talk to them about this priorities list for extra income. You're going to create this list. It's going to be one of the first components of your budget that you do. And then anytime you make extra money, you're going to go to this list and you're going to apply it to those priorities. So let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so this is what my priorities list for extra income looks like. And remember, this could be I found $50 floating around under the seat of my car. I got an extra $200 on my paycheck. I got a tax refund. I got an extra paycheck this month because it's a 5-week month. Whatever happens that you get extra income, it's going to this list. And this is the spreadsheet that I have my budgeters use for this. You could do this on a piece of paper, however it works best for you, but you need to have this list and you need to keep it handy with your budgeting materials so that you know what to do when you have extra income. It's so important because you get that extra $50 and you're going to think, ooh, I have extra $50 and you're going to go spend it. But you're not just going to spend that $50. You're going to spend $65 because, it's close enough. And then you're going to be in trouble. We have to, when we have goals and when we have a plan, it's important that we stick to it until those goals are met. And then we come up with new goals. We can't just be spending money willy-nilly. Okay, so on this spreadsheet, we have over here on the left, we have our list. This is the list you're going to come up with your budgeting team. Notice the first thing on the list, these are just examples that I have filled out for you, but really these should be your priorities. The first thing you should ever do is get your emergency fund. I think that for a family, that should be $1,200. I think that should be $1,200. So it started out, if you follow Dave Ramsey, he started out saying $1,000. Yes, that's a good number, but he started this, 15 years ago? And whether you follow Dave Ramsey or not, we have inflation. You can't, you can no longer go out and buy a new set of tires, or which you can actually plan for, but I digress. That is for another video. You can't go out and get a new washer and dryer for $1,000 anymore, or, a new garage door, or something bad happens. You're going to need more than $1,000 if you have a family, especially. So I keep mine at 12. I've been considering raising it to 15. Some gurus out there say 2,000. It just depends. Pick a number that's right for you in your situation, and that is your goal for your emergency fund. This is just your regular daily emergency fund. This isn't your 3 to 6 month emergency fund we're talking about here. So emergency fund. Next would be debt. If you have credit card debt, if you're whatever debts you're working to pay off, that would be second on your priority list. And then I have sinking funds on there. I'm always trying to fill up my sinking funds in advance. The closer my sinking funds are to being filled, the more I can put towards my long-term goals and retirement and things like that. You can put anything you want on this list. For me, we just had an issue with our bathroom. Now we're going to have to do a bathroom remodel. That would technically be a sinking fund if I could do that long term, but I'm going to have to put bathroom remodel on here for me. So, whatever you need to do, put this on this list. Prioritize how you're going to distribute any extra funds you get, whether it be $50 from under the seat of your car or 1,500 from an extra paycheck. You need a priority list. So let's fill this out. For example, let's say on March 1st, you find $50 under the seat of the car. That would be a really, really lovely thing to find, right? So you're going to put the date in there. You're going to put $50. And then this drop down list is going to tell us where you applied it to. I am going to apply it to emergency fund. That is my top priority. It's not funded yet, but this $50, let's pretend that $50 is going to fully fund it. So I'm going to put this in the notes. Fully funded emergency fund. Yay! I'm going to put EF, and then I'm going to type yay. Okay, so I just fully funded my emergency fund with the $50 I found under my car seat. Hallelujah, that is done. Now the next time I have extra income, I can move on to my next priority. If you notice, I keep this running tally of extra money that I've applied throughout the year. It's just really cool at the end of the year to see how diligent I was, and with any extra money that I found, how much that all added up. Because past me would have spent all of that money, but now disciplined me saves that money or applies it towards my priorities, and it gets me where I want to be faster. So I use that $50 and I put it towards my emergency fund. For the sake of this example, I just needed $50 left till that was met. Yay, that's met. Now it's March. What is the last Friday of the March? The 29th, I think. Yep. Yeah. Yes, the 29th. So say today is the last Friday of the month, and it's the 5th Friday because we're using March as an example. I don't know what people get paid who work on a Friday paycheck, so we're just going to say 1,500. I have no idea, just for the sake of this example. So $1,500, it's an extra paycheck. That's awesome. I need to apply this $1,500 somewhere. My emergency fund is fully funded because I found that $50 under the car, right? Under the seat of my car. I'm going to take this $1,500. My next priority is debt. I could apply this whole $1,500 towards my debt, but let's say I have a sinking fund that's coming up. So in April, it's Easter and it's spring break, and I need my spring break sinking fund isn't quite met. So I need $400 to fund that sinking fund. I'll take and I'll put $1,100 towards my debt, and I'll put another 400 in my sinking funds, and I'll just make a note of that there. 1,100 to debt and 400 to sinking funds. So I've made a note there. Now I'm going to go track that on the other trackers that goes in my debt digging tab, where I keep track of all of my debt payments, and my sinking fund tab, where I keep track of all my sinking funds. But I'm tracking this has gone up now. So now I know, because of my diligence and my discipline, I've spent $1,550 extra dollars on my priorities, on my goals, instead of that money just disappearing into thin air because I didn't have a plan. If you have a priorities list for any extra money that you get, you don't have to wonder what you're going to do with it every time it happens. You don't have to have a budget meeting every time you get extra money. You just know exactly what you're going to do with it. It is important to discuss that with your budget team, but you have a plan in place already. So this is a super, super important component of your budget. It's why I started with this for my components of your budget playlist. You have to have an idea of where you want your money to go before you can make your monthly budget, before you can begin this budgeting journey. You have to have an idea of where your goals are. And this is basically a list of goals and where you're going to apply your money. If you don't have a tracker like this, you can keep it on paper. I'm working on getting this tracker up there and for sale so that you guys can have this available to you. It's just taking me a little while to get it ready to go. I hope to have that soon for you. Stay tuned. I'll let you know. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that this inspires you to save that fifth paycheck or that extra paycheck for March. And I hope that this inspires you to come up with a list of priorities and start plugging away that extra money that you come across this year in 2024 to your priorities rather than it just disappearing into thin air. Because it's moments like these that keep you from it's more than just math type of budgeting. Don't give up. Keep going. You've got this.